So, Jordan, thank you very much
Uh,
for joining me today. Speak a bit about the
okay.
training we did together, mate. Jordan and I worked together for a few months. We did some face-to-face PT. Jordan was never really overweight. He's never been a big guy when I seen him, and so his journey with me was less about trying to lose loads of weight and more about kind of building some muscle, toning up, and kind of getting leaner. So, Jordan, let's kind of take things back to where we started. Like, when you first started training with me, like, why did you decide to do that in the first place?
It's a long story, but in a nutshell, basically, I started the gym when I was 16 because I was uber skinny. I was like, there's nothing to me. And I was always kind of self-critical about that. And I had quite a lot of bullying about that as well. So when I kind of left school, I went straight to the gym. And then when I moved to London, it kind of stopped. So it went to kind of focus on more of my career.
Yeah,
Then I kind of realigned my goals and thought, right, I really need to get back into this. So I pretty much come to you, and I was like, I needed some kind of. It was more about confidence building, kind of get my body into shape, not necessarily get bulky or huge kind of muscle mass, but just kind of toned and consistent with the way I felt and my body. And it was a lot to do with my mind and my psychological state because it gave me much more confidence to do other things. So I kind of wasn't very confident with doing different kinds of sport because I didn't think I had the strength.
yeah.
Gave me that kind of confidence to do like inline skating or surfing, swimming, stuff like that when I went abroad. So it helped me all around, really.
Oh, awesome, man. So, kind of back in the day, obviously, like, weren't that confident, and that was stopping you from doing certain social things. So, that's obviously a really powerful motivation to get things changed, and that's exactly what you did. You really worked on it, which is brilliant. So, obviously, we kind of looked at that face to face approach to sorting this out for you, and we worked really hard in the gym.
Yeah.
Like, how would you kind of describe that process that we went through? Like, was it too hard? Was it the right kind of thing for you? Like, what would you kind of say?
So the great thing about what you did was that you didn't rush into anything, and you actually got all the information about previous injuries, kind of my mental state, what kind of goals that I was looking for. So you kind of knew exactly where I was aiming for and what was wrong with my body and how to work around it. Because I mentioned about my scoliosis and like I had a weak shoulder. So your guy in the gym, the physio,
Yeah,
you kind of put me onto him, and between you, you kind of got me through that stage of strengthening my weaknesses. And then you just worked on basically. You pushed me hard, but then I needed it. So that wasn't a bad thing. I think the main thing was that you listened to me, and you kind of took on board what my goals were and what was kind of wrong and what I needed kind of correcting, so to speak.
yeah. So even though you had a couple of injuries, we obviously assessed them to make sure that it wasn't going to be too inhibiting, but then made
Yeah,
a like big push to be able to work around them. So you obviously still managed to get results while still like having these injuries and working on them to progress through them as well.
exactly.
Yeah, no, it's good, man. I think that you were so good at pushing really hard. Like, some people aren't super switched on mentally, but you were there. Like, I said, do this, and you were like, yes, let's go.
Yeah,
And that
yeah,
mental strength was something which made it so easy to train you, which was like so beneficial for me to have from your point of view as well.
yeah,
Um, so yeah, we kind of pushed through and we kind of worked together for it was a good couple of months, wasn't it? I would say it was at
yeah.
least 3 months, wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in that time, you made some really good progress. Obviously, like, lost a little bit of fat, gained some muscle, gained some strength. Like, how do you feel about the changes that you made in the time that we were working together?
Yeah, so for instance, I was a 34 waist, and it was kind of muffin top hanging over. It's not good, you know. So I think now I'm a 30-inch waist and there's nothing hanging. It's, you know, I'm really toned. And I think psychologically, you know, when you look at yourself in the mirror, you think amazing. So, you know, you were kind of the beginning process towards that goal, and it got me kick-started into where I am now. And I don't think if I'd got that kind of confidence boost from you that I'd be where I am now.
Oh, cheers, man. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
No, because I think like you've raised a really good point that when we finished working together, it wasn't that was it. You were at the end. It was like this was the beginning. It was the start of something, and you've now been able to go on from there and do more things yourself.
Huh?
I think that's really good, man, because a lot of people don't quite have that same mentality, especially the first time you start training. You think, oh, once you've got here, that's it. I've won. That's the end. And obviously, we can see, like, even in the video, like, your shoulders are so lean. We can see that, and you've got some good definition going on as well, man. So obviously, you've been putting in the shift since we worked together, which is brilliant, mate. So, like, kind of looking back now at the position that you were in when we first kind of started training, thinking about where you were mentally in that state and physically, like, what would you say to someone that was in that position? Not say to your former self, but like for someone that was similar, like what advice would you give them?
Basically, you can't lose sight of your goal. You cannot lose sight. And as much as you think it's impossible, and as much as you think you're never going to do it, it will happen. Sometimes certain people have to work harder than others, but you know, you will get there. And I've got a few friends who are in that stage at the moment, and you've kind of got to keep pushing and push, because you know when you look like this and you look great, people think you've always looked that good.
Yeah,
don't realise the hard work you've had to put into it, and they kind of take that for granted. So I think it's just basically saying, look, I was there before. I know what it feels like. You know, if you push yourself and you make sure that that's a consistent feeling, you'll get there.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I think people will look at you or they'll look at other people that are in your position now and think, God, it's so unfair. Like, you can just look like that all the time and they don't see the hard work and the effort that you've put in and the whole process, the mental process as well that you've gone through to get to where you are now.
It's a change of lifestyle, and a lot of people don't realise that. It's a healthy lifestyle, so you can't just do it for a few months and then look amazing and then just go back to your old ways.
Yeah.
It's a whole life change, and you've got to be up for that, you know, and you've got to kind of think really what foods am I eating? Are they the right foods? Are they the wrong foods? Am I doing enough training? Am I doing too much?
Yeah.
So, you know, you've just got to be a bit more responsible.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's exactly it. It's not just the case of doing something for one reason. It's like almost, you know, you've got to put effort into it. Like, you have to put effort into your job. Like, you have to put effort into your friends, into relationships, into your whole life. Like, it's all about kind of building that thing and building it up and up and up.
Yeah.
No, spot on, man. Brilliant. Well, thanks so much for kind of talking to me about that. I really appreciate you kind of spending some time today and chatting. That's really nice to see your face as well, mate. It's been a while. It's good to catch up. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything we've been through today. Guys, everyone that's watching this, just a quick shout. If you need any more information about how we kind of working towards that goal, maybe just check out my website, www.david-bertelsall.com. There's loads of info on there. And Jordan, again, man, thanks so much for speaking to me. Really good to see how you've still kept it up and you progressed, and see them big shoulders of yours in the video as well, man. Good lad. Okay, cool, man. I'll speak to you soon.
Take care.
Cheers, man. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.